right.
Thank you. Wow. All over, you're fired. Can you believe this?
Please don't fire me.
I will never do that. You're doing so well. How could anyone fire you?
Oh, thank you. Now, Mr. Trump, should I call you Mr. Trump?
You call me Donald.
Donald?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'll call you Donald. Donald, have you ever been fired?
I've never been fired.
No?
I've never been fired. I've never had the privilege. Have you folks been fired? Anybody out there? Huh? No, I went to work for a wonderful father. I had a great father, and I did a good job, and he liked me. He thought I was good. So I never got fired.
Well, that's lucky for you. And do you find it hard to do that, or?
No, I find it very easy.
Yeah. Now, explain, for those of people who have not seen the show, and I don't know who that is, but explain the premise of the show.
Well, it's a little bit of the jungle of New York. New York is the toughest place in the world, and we show the real jungle, and the real jungle is in New York. And Mark Burnett, who's a great friend of mine who did Survivor, I used to tell him, I said, Mark, the toughest jungle, it's not where you are with all these Survivor jungles. The toughest jungle is the jungle of Manhattan, the jungle of New York. And he said to me the other day, you know, Donald, you're right. That's really the toughest place. It's the most beautiful place. It's the greatest place. It's the worst place. It's the most vicious place. It's the nicest place. It's just an amazing place. And it is a jungle at the same time, and it's eating these geniuses up alive. You know, they're brilliant people, and they have IQs of 190, 195. We have a Harvard MBA who's a doctor. I mean, we have really smart people, and they are being eaten alive by the jungle of New York and by Trump and by other things.
Yeah. and so, do you think you know who is going to win?
Well, we're down to, we're down to 9.
Right.
And they're very, very brilliant people. And I really can't tell you that I do. I really don't know.
You don't know who yet?
No, I don't. And the final episode is live for 2 hours from New York City. If you'd like to do that show for me, I don't mind.
Yeah.
But it's live for 2 hours from New York City, and that will be when the final determination is made. That'll be on April 15th, which coincidentally is tax day. I mean, and it wasn't set up that way, but it works, right?
Right. Now, describe for me, because when you say this is, because you don't really have a lot of time. You go in there, you fire somebody, and then you're out of there. Because what's a typical day for you? You must be incredibly busy.
I am busy. I get up very early.
What do you mean by that? What's
5, sometimes earlier. I don't sleep a lot for whatever reason. But I get up early. I read the papers, see what's going on in the world. I'm in the office by about 7, and I work till probably 6 or 7. And then sometimes I go out, and sometimes I don't go out.
Sometimes you don't go out?
Sometimes I stay home, which is considered a great luxury for me. Staying home for me is one of the great luxuries. Believe me. Believe me.
Yeah. I do. You mean at night, or are you just talking about all day long?
No, I'd like to stay home all day long, but that's a tough one.
But at night,
that's been a long time since I've done that.
Yeah.
I see a beautiful woman up there. That's your mother, isn't it, huh?
Yeah. Look at her.
Hello.
Yeah.
How are you?
She's available if you're interested. I'd like to offer her.
Yeah, she's very pretty, actually.
So, I think Adam Norton might be a really good apprentice. I don't know if... we may be encouraging him to become a young Donald Trump by doing this.
He looks like he's got great potential.
Doesn't he?
You never know.
Yeah. Right? Now look at you. The things that you have gone through. You're on the cover of Newsweek, and your life before. I mean, you were $900 million in debt. And now your worth has, quadrupled since the show? What's...
No, not since the show, but over the years it's
No, I know, but even since the show, it's even more...
Yeah,
it
hasn't gone down, that's for sure.
No, I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, all of a sudden now, you've gone from being in debt to a worth of 90 million?
Not?
What?
No.
900 million?
No.
Billion?
No.
5 billion.
Well, that's what they say. I don't know if it's true or not. I mean, they say $5 billion. I don't know if it's true. But it's enough to eat and to live. It's been substantial. It's been great. No, I was down pretty low. I was down around 1990. I was minus $900 million. In fact, there's a very famous scene where I'm walking down the street with a very beautiful woman, and I said, "You see that man over there?" She said, "Yes." "Do you know who he is?" "Yes, he's a beggar. Isn't that too bad?" I said, "It is too bad, but right now, he's worth $900 million more than I am." This was a bad point in my life.
Right.
And she said somewhat naively, "What do you mean, Donald? He's not worth $900 million, is he?" And I said, "Let's assume he's worth nothing, but I'm worth minus $900 million." And so that was a low point. That was around 1991. And now it's, you know, the real estate markets have been booming in New York and elsewhere where I'm building. And I'm by far the biggest developer in New York. And it's been really good. It's been a great period
Well,
of time.
yes, it has been good. You've done a lot of good, too. You've done a lot of good things. We have to take a break. When we come back, Donald's going to show us how to all be worth $5 billion. We're back with Donald Trump. Now, how much do you have in your wallet right now?
I honestly,
yeah,
zero.
Really?
I don't carry cash.
You don't carry cash?
No, I don't carry cash.
What about tipping?
I don't know. I think I have a dollar bill or something that I won in a bet.
You really don't have any cash?
I have a little cash in my back pocket, actually.
You have someone carry a briefcase of cash with you?
That's usually the best way.
Uh-huh. Now, seriously, you just, it's a crazy question with such little time, but when somebody's in that kind of trouble, you know, obviously people are in debt out there. What's the first step to all of a sudden on your way back?
Never stop, never give up, and enjoy what you're doing. Of course, it's hard to enjoy what you're doing when you owe hundreds of millions of dollars, but you have to enjoy it anyway. You have to love what you're doing, but never, ever give up. Just keep chugging.
All right, that's good advice. I agree with that. The catchphrase "you're fired" all of a sudden has caught on. I mean, we're all saying it now, and I think that I'm sure you're already thinking about marketing this, but we want to help you in marketing it. We have some ideas, and one of them we came up with is it's a cardboard box for when you're fired to put your stuff in.
That's good.
And you carry the stuff around. Then we also have, it's a grill, which really makes sense, because then when you make a sandwich and it says you're fired on it right there. Okay? This one I think is the best, and it's a cereal called Your Fired-O's, and there's pink slip marshmallow bits inside. And then you can, there's cards of all the different apprentices, then you collect them all and fire them.
That's a good idea.
Isn't that great?
I like it.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to meet you, and please come back, and I think that you are an inspiration, because you really do represent what everyone is trying to achieve, and to keep coming back and building more and more.
Thank you very much.
So thank you so much for being here.